So let me introduce to you Artemis Sky McNeil, LLC of the Happiness Habit. She is a board certified nutrition practice. It's founder certified in holistic health, focusing on gut and mental health, as well as many other things, such as physical fitness, herbology, and aromatherapy. Most important is her ongoing research to provide the most effective and beneficial protocol for quality health and education to help empower her audience. So with that being said, let's give our attention to Artemis.
Well, hello everyone. It's so good to be back with you this week, and I'm so glad that we're recording these because we are planning to put them on the website so that you can go back and review some of our strategies, our sessions, the education that we have here. And it was really time to talk about this. Over the years that we've been together, we have really talked and gotten educated on a lot of stuff. Wouldn't you agree? And so now it's a little bit of a discussion on something that I actually um, have a session with. This is actually a consultation that I do with people, with clients, either in single session strategies or in coaching packages. And this is why it's so great when you come here, you get these morsels for free, and they can benefit you, of course. And then you also know what could be down the line if you needed something, if you wanted a consultation, for yourself, to understand what is provided in here. So I love our webinars because they show what you interview me, basically. You interview me, and you get to see my passion, the education, and how we would deal with each other. So today was such a crucial component of everything that we know. It's kind of putting everything together. It's another piece of the puzzle, and that is follow through and accountability, everyday strategies. Now, speaking on this, no one's going to be put on the spot today, and we might put it at the end after we record. But this is something where, as a community, we can help one another. And actually, that's part of the accountability. The fact that you showed up today at the end of the week is follow through. Follow through for a goal you have to continue your certain lifestyle, to continue being motivated and supported and uplifted. So if you have ideas or comments or your own strategies with the different themes that we're going to touch on today, please put them in the chat. And we'll either, what we could do is have Corey read them at the end, and then we can stop the recording and just have a nice open forum like we usually do. All right, so starting with follow through and accountability. Why is the follow through so important? Well, our mind is inspired by our intentions, right? We can have a beautiful schedule. It could be perfect from 7:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night in these 15-minute intervals or half hours, and we have time for everything. But if our soul isn't connected, if our passion isn't there, we're not going to be inspired to do it. And so what can actually bridge the gap between our mind being inspired to do it and our intention with our soul to actually get that follow through? Because when something really feels good and it becomes a habit, like a happiness habit, and we are connected to a really cool emotion with it, there is a lot more tendency to do it, like a reward. Like Stefan mentioned today, hey, I went to the eye doctor and this is what I got. He is actually rewarding himself for a lifestyle that he has made changes to. And why would you go back with the risk of my eyes are going to be affected? So this is the kind of these are the kind of things that we're going to talk about today. So regarding just our health and our protocols that we want to put together. So we have our products. I'm sure we all have cupboards of products, shelves of products. We have our supplements and our essential oils, and our powders and our amino acids and our electrolytes. So this is all part of the new us, and we are arsenaled all the way up to our eyeballs. But now what? Because if those beautiful supplements, and they have to be high quality, and that's some of the education we get here, but if those beautiful high quality supplements are in the shelf in your cupboard and you're not using them, it's just a waste. It's a waste of product. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. And so how do we change that dynamic to actually utilize what we have? And now that wasted time and money becomes an investment for our health. And we see and we appreciate the benefits and results. Well, first of all, we're going to start with just creating goals. And that's why today, what we're going to talk about, everybody's going to have a little bit of a different angle, a little bit of a different twist, because everybody functions a little bit differently. For instance, some people like to keep things on electronic devices where other people want to keep things on calendars. And so when we create goals, I'm keeping it general. On a consultation, we would absolutely tailor make it to you. But here I keep it general so that we can all, in our own minds, mold and tailor make what this means for us. But a general quote is, and we all know this, it's fail to plan. And I'm going to just change that right now because that's bothering me. Okay. Fail to plan, plan to fail. And we've all heard this before, but isn't that the truth? And let's get an example of what we could mean by this. So we're going shopping. First of all, we have to get in the car, get dressed, get in the car, unless you're going to Walmart, then you can wear pajamas and slippers. But we get in the car, we drive to the grocery store. We might have made out a list or not, or we're taking the time to pick the finest fruits and vegetables because we want to be healthy. We go home and we even, put everything away. So all that was time and money, and it was a good intent. We had an intention of, we're going to cook at home. We're going to save money on cooking at home. We're going to eat healthier cooking at home. But if we don't follow through with the plan for all the things that we purchased, what can happen? If we don't have a recipe for these products in our refrigerator, if we don't have meal planning, if we don't have the time to make it, because I went and bought all these things, but I was so busy, I kept going through drive-throughs. So what happens to all that investment? Unfortunately, this is what happens to all that time and effort. And then we get deflated. And then, if you're not seeing a reward for all your hard work, what motivates you to do it again? Now, I want to also say, I'm going to temper that statement with, we never give up, right? The only time we fail is if we give up. So we just keep going until we get the formula to a place where it does become a happiness habit. So, but how can we avoid this? And this is the type of session that this is today. Everyday strategies to avoid defeat and feeling deflated. So how does that make you feel if you purchased all that beautiful food and you took the time to go get it, you put it in your fridge, and then it rotted? How does that make you feel? So what can we do? So just think about that. And if you have any thoughts, put them in the chat. So what can we do to avoid this? And not only with our food, but with our health. We could have the best intent of, this year I'm going to lose weight. This year I'm going to get my sugar down. This year I'm going to control my diabetes. This year I'm going to make sure my blood pressure is, steady. This year I'm going to work on my anxiety. This year I'm going to exercise more. All those are wonderful intentions here. But the follow through, as we connect to it with passion, is going to actually make our soul come alive, because we're going to see the benefit of the follow through. So we want to make decisions today, Friday, March 15th, that our future selves will be empowered by. So first we started with create goals, and we're going to discuss that a little bit more in a little bit. But one thing that is really important, and I really love this little chart. When I saw this, I couldn't have said it better. I've said it many times, but they put it in better terms. We have to prioritize the things that we want to invest in. And we will find out today how to prioritize the things that we invest in. But so much of it starts here. So we have a goal of, I want to eat better, or I want to get those supplements, or I need to see my practitioner. But this is really how we feel. Healthy groceries, $100 too expensive, but you go out on dinner, you get a couple of drinks, and you have some food that's kind of inferior. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. A health appointment, $130. What? But you go to Target or Amazon, and it's way more than that. Costco, the dollar store. I don't, that dollar store is a misnomer. 30 minutes of exercise. I wish I had time, but then what about all the scrolling, right? How much are we doing this? 1 hour of reading. Oh my goodness. How can I read for an hour? Where am I going to find the time? But Netflix and, what do they call it? What do they call it when they binge watching Netflix. So if you truly are honest with yourself, and this is a self-examination, no judgment. We've all been here. I've been here. But it takes a self-examination of if I want to have this goal, and everybody think of your own goal, whatever your own goal is at this moment, what do I have to do to get there? Because if I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy a whole load of groceries and bring them home and then not have time to eat them, and I go through a drive-through, I've just defeated my plan. So we want to actually get out of our own way. Just get out of our own way. Stop stopping ourselves, and let's get motivated. And again, being here together is actually one of those things. It's one of those things that helps us get motivated. So we're going to do that together today. One of the ways that we could do it, and again, this is going to be a little bit different for everybody because we all do things differently. Like I know people that just everything is going to be on their electronic device. They have a Fitbit, and then others just really love their calendar, their pocket calendar, their desk calendar. Some people like both. Some people like sticky notes. Some people, have them on their bathroom. Some people have them on their refrigerator door. So really whatever works for you. But the point is to write down your tasks, what you'd like to accomplish. And this is from everything from your schedule throughout the day, even to the dosage of the pills. One of the things that we do, like on a consultation, and by the way, this is actually free as a follow-up to a consultation, like a wellness consultation or a nutritional consultation. I do a follow-up if needed by phone, by email, or by Zoom, depending on how much you need to know. And we take your products that come in. And I always say, when you do this, please have a Sharpie with you. See, this is follow through. We had our consultation. I made recommendations. You purchased your products, you purchased it. But now, okay, I don't remember what she said. And of course you can email me or, for those things. But this is what I say. Take your Sharpie, and when we discuss it or when you're taking notes, write on the bottle 2 in the AM, 2 with meals, 2 without meals. And so you're not scratching your head with this whole big pile of bottles that are just random. And kind of like with our essential oils where we have little stickers and we can put them right on top. So we don't have to, go through everything. They're right on top. We can do that with our supplements. So that's just one thing from your schedule that you write down and things that you need to prioritize. Like we know if we have to be at work at a certain time, we're going to be at work at a certain time unless there's something really big intervening. If we have our worship events, we go there. And so when we start doing that, blocking out that time, we already know we're going to be there. We can actually learn that same mentality in our home. We can learn to actually say, I have blocked off time for preparing those meals, for finding a new recipe that fits my lifestyle, for exercise, for reading, for mindfulness. So whatever it is for you, remember you're tailor making it to you. Write down your goals and then put it in a schedule, and even to the things like, you know, your pills. When somebody purchases essential oils, I say, you know, and they always wonder, you know, why are you saying this? Do you want me to buy more stuff? I'm like, nope. I want you to be able to do the follow through and to utilize the things you have like this. When you buy your essential oils, also buy the fractionated coconut oil, because you're going to need to dilute it. Also, buy some of the little vials that you might make blends with. And some people, what? I don't know how to use it. Well, come on these workshops and we're going to get for you to know how to use them. But if you don't have everything you need and then you're scrambling to find it later, you're not going to do it. So have everything at your fingertips and write all these things down. Have them in a place and write them down that this is my kit. This is my kit. And I have even make like an inventory list of what you have. It takes a little planning, but that planning is going to help you go a long way. And again, if you have any ideas that you like to share, put them in here, or something that we talk about today that you're actually utilizing and that it's helping you. The next thing is on any goals that we have on follow through is set strict deadlines. Now I have a question mark on strict because I actually don't like that word. I like flexible deadlines. Not to say that I like to be on time, but if I didn't get something at exactly the time that I said, I don't, you know, beat myself up. So we all need deadlines, but we also need to give ourselves a little bit of a break. But the deadlines is truly the end goal. So there's different types of goal. We have the goal of just making a goal, and then we have the everyday steps to get to that goal, and then we have the end result of what we'd like to achieve with this goal. And so, you know, if it's really open-ended, you know, it becomes a little murky out there in the future. So if we say, whether again, weight goals, or, you know, I really like to say that I work with my clients between doctor's visits. And this is a beautiful way to set a goal. So if somebody says has high blood pressure, or again, fighting with sugar, or even fighting with a weight issue, or fighting with whatever your personal issue is, I always ask, when is the next time that you see your doctor? And then can you have that as a goal to get to where you want? So when you see your doctor, they can maybe take you off some medication or lower your medication if that's your goal. Or to say, wow, you really look good. I'm impressed. Your eyes haven't changed at all. You know, they're just, the prescription's the same. So we can always do that as a goal. So again, goals are tailor made to you, and deadlines are tailor made to you. So what could be some of the deadlines? Well, we'll talk about this a little bit more, but could it be a wedding coming up, an outfit that you want to wear at a certain event in the future, that new pantsuit that you're going to get? Sorry. But anyway, if you know what I'm talking about. Any of that. So the other thing that we can do once we put down our goals, set a deadline, is actually ask for feedback, because sometimes we think we're doing better than we're doing, and we think we're doing more than we're doing. And so having a trusted confidant in your daily circle, whether it's a spouse or a good friend, somebody you talk to every day, and hopefully they're honest with you, because if you say, no, this is exactly what I ate today, and they remind you, well, remember that extra little snack we had here and the thing we did here, and you know, we really didn't walk the way we should have. See, the intent is here. But if we didn't have that follow through, we even think that we might have done it and we didn't do it. Oh, reality check. So feedback is a reality check. It could even be to ourselves. That feedback could be a reality check for ourselves, like maybe in a couple times a week. It could be weighing yourself. Some people don't want to do it. Some people feel that helps them. So feedback could even be with ourselves, checking in with ourselves, or checking in with a partner or a friend that you know will be honest with you. Because why? It keeps that goal here. It doesn't put it in the background. It doesn't shove it off to the side. It doesn't push it off to the future. It becomes part of your everyday or every week strategy to accomplish those goals. Then there's, again, remember, this is different for everybody. Some would love to use software to track their action items. Some people, most that I see, wear Fitbits. I do not. Or they like to use their Android or iPhones to put in their calendar, their schedule. They even have alarm reminders, take my supplements at this time. Make sure I go to bed at this time. I know my iPhone actually has a thing of shut down and don't, so that you don't see it anymore. It reminds you to put your phone away. It reminds you to start getting ready for bed. So these are some of the software things you can use. Now, I say that with a little bit of a caveat because I don't like getting bogged down and buying more things to make my goals, because sometimes we complicate our lives. Less is best. Less is best. And if you have a tried and true system, continue to use that. I remember thinking to myself that there are programs to organize yourself, and there are programs for emails, and there are programs for this. And I said early on, I'm going to try to keep as few programs as I can. So between Corey and I, we try to simplify things and not get new software for this and this. We just try to simplify it, and we can keep better track of it. Because what if that program you bought for this particular goal didn't work, and it's paying monthly on your, on your card or through Apple or whatever? That's all frustrating. We want to keep things simple and streamlined so we can get to our goal. So everything has its place. So software items have their place. So choose maybe your top three, and then utilize those properly, because they do need maintenance, right? Your things that help you track things need to be maintained. So we also want to find out, we said, let's get motivated. Let's get that intent, the good intention in our soul, so we can actually move. So what motivates you? It could be whatever your health situation is, or your personal goals that you want to be better by, you want to be healthier by, you want to be leaner by, you want to be fitter by. Is there an occasion? Is there a vacation coming up? Is there a wedding coming up? Summer coming up? Is there an outfit that you already have that you just don't want to throw away or give away? Or they say if you don't wear something in a few months, just give it away. Well, sometimes you have some special things that you want to keep and try to get into. So do you have that outfit? Do you have a determination of, I am just tired of feeling this way and I just want to feel this way? Whatever it is that motivates you, keep it in front of you. Keep that in front of you. Put it on that calendar, put a big X by it. Think about it. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a particular event. It could just be, I just want to start feeling better. I want to change my life. Sometimes these are small, like, goals towards the bigger goal of, I just want this person to be me in 3 or 6 or 9 or 12 months. And give yourself credit along the way. Because, like, for instance, one question I ask when somebody comes to be with a weight loss session, and I'll ask them, they'll tell me what their weight, we discuss what their weight is, and we find out their BMI and all this stuff. And then I say, what is your goal weight? And they give me a goal weight. But then I ask them, but where is the weight? What's the weight number where you actually start feeling better? And that's different. And we cannot discount that. So say you're 150 and you want to get to 120, but really at 140 or at 135, you actually feel great. 120 is the end goal, but that doesn't mean that we can't feel good about ourselves until we get to that 120. So it's really important to give ourselves those rewards too, those incentives, those motivations of, oh yeah, it's not just from 150 to 120. It's 150. And then, man, I'm going to feel great when I get to this number. And the other stuff could be a bonus. So find what motivates you and work with that. then incentivize yourself. Now, what does that mean? We do need incentive. Yes. So intent, passion. Now we have incentive. What is incentive? We got to make it work with our lifestyle. Again, if you say, I am going to go to the gym every day from 5 to 7, but you don't really wake up till 8 and the gym is 20 minutes away and you've got to be at work by 9, it's not going to work. So we have to make the incentives real. We have to make them work for us. We have to make them convenient, practical, know what we like, make sure that we have the things that we prefer, and use the stacking method. And we're going to go over these one by one. So make it convenient. So this is why I actually have these two products here. So Megasport, and I'm going to show this here. Microbiome Labs has, and I adore this company. This is that company that we interviewed the gentleman. I am primarily using these as gut restorers now, but I also love this. And this connects to the incentive. This total gut restoration up here is the same as this total gut restoration here, is the same as this total gut restoration here. But do you all notice the difference? One is all pills. One has 3 bottles of pills and 1 powder. One has 1 bottle of pills and 3 powders. And I think the other one is 2 and 2. There's actually 4 kits. And then they have these little tube things, kind of like doTERRA has with their, MetaPower and then their electrolytes. So this to me is incredibly tailor-made to our likes. Why is this important? Because every client is so different. One person will say, I cannot swallow pills. So we put them on a powder or we put them on a liquid. Another person might say, I don't really like the taste of stuff. I can't drink it, but I don't mind pills. So we give them pills. Some people are on quite a few things to begin with, right, in phase 2. And so we want to mix it up. We'll put maybe a powder that they could put in their coffee or their tea. We'll give them some liquids. We'll give them some pills. So we want to make sure, or some people are running out. Like with doTERRA, I don't have a picture of this, but whoever who's taking the Vitality Pack comes in 3 bottles. It also comes in a box that has pre-packaged a daily dose of all those bottles. Is it more expensive? Yes. So my recommendation is always buy 1 package and have it there for when you're running out and you did not have time the night before to put all your little pills in or take them with you. It's better to invest and use the product than invest a little less and not use them, if that makes sense. So we want to make it convenient and practical. So what's another? So do you guys get my drift? So if I have the bottles at home and I'm at home and I can take them, but now I'm running out and I didn't have a chance to put them in my purse or in my pocket, but I did have a chance to grab one of those little packets, throw it in my purse and run out, and I know that I'll take it that day. So make it practical. How can we make something practical? Well, I've talked many times about like essential oils are not really products, but they're ingredients. And ingredients you can use for so many circumstances and occasions, right? And I'm just going to use the example of lemon oil. Lemon oil we can take internally. It helps us energize. It helps our metabolism, our digestion going. It actually helps us with our glutathione. It helps with skin, so we can put it in the evening in a cream. It also helps. It's our furniture polish. It can be combined with baking soda as a cleaning agent. So this lemon is an ingredient, not a product. So if I want to use it in the morning to wake up and to help me start my day with essential oils, which I do, I wake up every morning and use lemon and frankincense. Where are they going to be? In the kitchen underneath my sink? Because I also use it for cleaning? No, I have two. I use the lemon that I use to wake up with and my frankincense are by my nightstand. And I use those every morning. And then I have a lemon, actually not in, underneath my kitchen sink, but I have it in my drawer, my spice drawer, an essential oil drawer, and first aid drawer. It's all combined because it's all ingredients in my kitchen. So, but I know now that I'm going to use them because I know that I use them, and it made it practical that I'm not searching all over for that bottle. And believe me, I get that a lot. I don't know what I did with it. I put it in my purse. I don't, and then it's like they lose it, and it's not used. And that breaks my heart, frankly, because these are wonderful products that need to be used. So make it practical. If you are using it in your room, have it in your room. If you're using it in your bathroom, have it in your bathroom. If you're using it in your kitchen, use it in your kitchen, have it in your kitchen. Even if you buy multiples, lemon's $12. We're not going to buy multiples of frankincense, but frankincense is usually the thing that's going to be in our bedroom somewhere. And then know what you like as far as taste. Again, do you like the taste of that thing that you're going to buy and invest in to make you healthier? There are so many options out there today, from plant milks to supplements, that you can find the right taste for you. Because the truth is, if you don't like it, you're not going to do it. So find the thing that is suitable for your palate. And sometimes you got to just grin and bear it and do that thing, because we have it now and it is going to help us. But we can really tailor make so much today with the conveniences of the products and what's out there to actually be suitable for our palate. So remember, you can have something in pill form, in liquid form, in oil form, in tincture form, in powder form. It's just all, think about that, I'm tailor making it for me. So when we're on a consultation, or when you're looking on Fullscript or to buy products, you know what you're looking for. Like, I'm tired of pills for right now. Let me find the powder version. And you can also email me and ask me for recommendations. Also, use the stacking method. Now, I really love the stacking method. I started, and I did this for myself. I started using clove for hygiene, right? So it's kind of like make it practical, but the habit was, I didn't have the habit either. Yes, so I put the clove in my bathroom. I had it with my other bathroom essential oils. But the stacking is, I'm going to remember to do it because it's going to be next to something else that I do every day. So I am brushing my teeth every day, and then I stack that clove right there. And it becomes part of the habit too. So putting things, new things that you want to incorporate in your habits, in your follow through, connect it or put it back to back with something that you already do. And if y'all are doing anything like that, share it with us, because I'm giving you one example, but there could be many possible examples of stacking. Okay, moving on. So a lot of it, again, like we talked earlier, if you buy the groceries and you take the time to buy the groceries, but you don't have time to make food from the groceries, then, we're kind of defeating ourselves. So time management is important. The person that says, I really need to get my quality of sleep better, but they don't go to bed by 9, or they don't go to bed by 10, or they don't start taking, say, their magnesium at 8:30, but they're eating at 8:30 or 9. That's not good time management. You can't go to bed like that and expect to fall asleep, right? And so how do we improve our time management? Sometimes I like to say this: think of your end result. What time do you want to be in bed? And then go backwards. And that's really helped a lot of clients and even friends when we talk about it. I've heard people say, I never thought of it that way. But if you think this is my end goal, but then I have to beforehand, I have to take some supplements 20 minutes to 30 minutes before I lay down. And I need to have at least a little bit of time, to let my stomach settle because I don't want to take them on a full stomach. So you're working your way backwards. So if I'm in bed by 10, I need to take my supplements by 8:30. That means I need to have eaten by 6. That means, and then you just work your way back. So if you want to, if your goal is sleep, have that as the goal and then work your time management around that. Limit distractions. So one of the biggest time robber is, we're in a different era now. It's really just social media is just such a big time robber. And that again is where getting feedback from a friend, and guess what else gives us feedback? Our phone tells us how long we've been on our phone. So making sure that we take some time to look at our phone and go, you have an average of 10 hours on your phone, well, and I know we use it for a lot of things. It's not just for scrolling. It's for, our meetings, reading, calendar, alarms. And I think the phone takes all that into consideration. Well, we say phone, it's a mini computer, right? That actually has a phone thing, but so it takes all that into consideration. But still, if you're on it 10 hours a day, how good is that for you? Even for all the stuff that you're doing. It affects the eyes. It affects the EMFs, which is a whole other session, the electromagnetic field. It affects anxiety. Then there's all kinds of other health issues. So, but distraction is a health issue. It's a health issue because it is really robbing us of a lot of things and not really giving us the benefit that we really need if we have a goal and we can't get to it. And the biggest thing I would think is the sleep. I think social media and scrolling takes away from our sleep. I don't know if y'all agree, but I have found that. So we want to limit those distractions. If we have to write them down, we write them down. And I'm going to, at the bottom, there's a couple of things to help us to set that working backwards. It kind of gives us some little time frames of what to do where it's a general rule of thumb that might assist you. Also, learn to say no. I am so guilty of not doing this, and I have to work to do it. And I keep saying, okay, next week. But this is something that is a goal of mine. When I say I'm like super busy or have too much to do, I'm not proud of it. It's not like, oh, I do so much. I'm not proud of it. I feel like I need more balance in my life, and I'm being like open and vulnerable and transparent to show that we all have things to work on. Sometimes I joke around that a coach needs a coach. And so these webinars, these workshops at the end of the week are actually great accountability for me, because now that I told you that, I'm going to try and come back and tell you what I did to succeed in my goal. And so if you have your own goal, so mine is I just need to limit and find more time to be still. But if you have your own goal, and it could be anything, and you don't necessarily have to share the specifics of your goal, but if you have a goal and you know that at the end of the week on Friday at 3:00, you're seeing your little accountability group, and you might want to talk about it. We might even, as we shorten our sessions, we could take even 10 minutes at the end and just do our accountability chat. How did your week go this week? What goals were you able to accomplish? If you had a scale of 1 to 10, where were you on that scale of 1 to 10? And how could you improve next week? See, so we can all talk about this in a group session and have a little accountability group after our workshop. And if you're interested in that, we can discuss that more in the forum. Finally, it's really important with everything we learn. And remember, when we have a session like this, when we have a workshop, a webinar that we're discussing topics, it's a very concentrated thing, right? We're focused on this. and we're learning about this. But when we start to apply it in our lives with all the different things that we've taken away from this, or whatever it is that resonated with you, we just don't want to stress it. But I didn't write it down, but I scrolled a little too much, but that celery stock that I knew was going to help my anxiety is wilting. Don't stress it. Like I said, the only time you fail is when you give up. So all we have to do, keep calm, and let's just start over. Tomorrow is a new day. And also give yourself a pat on the back for the things that you have done. So we don't want to focus on the things we didn't accomplish, the woulda, shoulda, couldas. We want to have a nice balance in our life. Have that balance of, I have come this far. I'm still working on some things, but look at how far I've come by the follow through that I've done. And so, the next time I might get the cut up celery. Maybe it costs a little more, but hey, I'm going to eat it or juice it that way, as opposed to getting a stock that was a little bit less, but I just didn't have time to cut it or clean it the way I wanted to. So we don't stress it. We revamp it. We revisit it. We restructure it, and then we try again. Here's a couple things at the end I thought we might go through. Of course, it's not just plan and follow through, but conquer, right? We also have this part. It's so important, that feeling of I did it. That's where the happiness habit focuses on. Really, again, it's on the feeling of the accomplishment. I have that quote that says, everything we do is in search of a feeling. Everything we do, we're looking for homeostasis, contentment, security. Everything we do is in search of an inner peace feeling. And if you ever find the exception, share that with me. And so we want to get to those goals so we can accomplish this feeling. And we can together. I just wanted to share with you what these consultations are like. This is by no means soliciting, but it's good to know. Many times, I'll have a client say, I didn't know. So I'm just out here, whether it's for you or something that you can recommend to somebody who's saying, hey, I wish there was this out there. Oh, the happiness habit has this. So I do a supplement consultation for 30 minutes. So you've got a whole bunch of stuff in your cupboard, and you're like, I am overwhelmed. I have way too much stuff. I don't know how to take it. I just need help. I will help you with that. We will take 30 minutes. We will go through the products, and I will even tell you, most of the time, I think you should take your stuff. Sometimes I don't think you should take your stuff, either whether it's really expired, whether you open up the thing and it smells bad, it's got little spots on it, it's starting to disintegrate, to degenerate, or if it's really poor quality. And I have seen that, and I wouldn't waste your liver on that. Most of the time, I think things are good. Probably 10% of the time, I think just chuck it. And so what we do, we streamline, we make things simpler. And then we also put a quick strategy, a brief strategy of how to use them and when. This is not a health consultation. If you come to me for this thing and you say, by the way, this is how I'm feeling, that becomes a wellness consultation. So please understand, this is literally, hey, I have these products here, and I thought I knew how to use them and I forgot. And should I use them, and when should I take them? That's what that's for. And then there's an essential oil consultation. Same thing. We have tons of essential oils. Sometimes we know how to use them, but then you see that black spruce in the back. You're like, what is this? So we talk about that. And then those are the prices for each. And then I do a combination of both, where we do a really good session, and it's a much better deal. But now you have the tools. You don't just have the product, you have the tools for follow through. And frankly, I think once a year for $59 or even $99 is worth it. If you did it once a year and you cleaned out everything and then you did it again. And remember that one of these mini sessions for 15 minutes around there comes with your wellness consultation, because I really want people to use what they buy, and I don't want any questions. And I do tell everyone, I want to coach you the way I wish I had been coached when I was at my sickest. And I will never forget the day that I left this holistics, and it's just down the street. I left this very expensive holistic place that I just spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars for the visit, and then was going out with a box of hundreds and hundreds of dollars of supplements. And I walk out the door, and then I was like, I just remembered something. And I will never forget this. I am holding this box and I look back and I'm like, I can't even ask it. I can't go back there. They won't, I mean, I'm done. I can't go to the receptionist and ask. The doctor certainly won't see me. And I thought to myself, when I became a practitioner, I do not want that feeling. Now, so if you have a question 5 minutes after our consultation is over, and most of you know this, you just text me. If you have a question the next day, you email me. Now, I'm sorry that sometimes, and I'll be honest, things have slipped through the cracks because we get so many emails, and not just from clients, but I mean, Corey will tell you, we get so many emails that sometimes we don't see them. And Corey and I will both kind of quickly go through and we'll star all the things that our clients are asking. And so, but I want you to know that I am accessible. I need you to know that, because I don't want the burden of being carried until your next visit, which is a lot of times. Some doctors actually are started to do the emailing thing, which is really cool. But they have their receptionist answer, and then they'll take it to the doctor, and then they'll come back. So that's good that they do that. I'm glad that they do that now. But anyways, I believe that follow through is just a vital part of having the supplement and having the protocol. Now, again, I'm going to use some of these because different quotes and different sayings resonate with different people. So this isn't a hard, fast rule for everybody. I have presented here today trying to get the angles of just our different schedules, ages, cultures, just all of it, and see what resonates with you. So in this case, some say you lack execution because you refuse accountability. Now, that could be true for a lot of us in a certain case. Like, for instance, if I am planning to do something, but I don't have a deadline. Like if the taxes are due April 15th and I have taxes to pay, I am executing that check, right? I am going to write that check and send it, because my accountability is, if I don't, I'm going to pay a penalty. And so if we don't have that accountability, sometimes it could allow us to slack off a little bit. It may not be you, it may be you. These are things that we share to see what could help give you that push. I also have motivational, and I'm going to do this. Sorry, I'm finding the little motivational sessions or packages. And I've had a few clients with shorter packages, and it's really changed them. I can say it's changed them. And they just needed, like, say, 3 sessions. It's kind of like we did today, but it's concentrated and tailor-made to them. Just know that that's available too for yourself or somebody else. Okay, here's some of the interesting things that I found that I thought that would help us also when we have follow through. These are, there were 6 laws. 2 of them were really not relevant to this, to our health and our follow through. But there's Hicks law. And it says, when you have more choices to pick from, it takes longer to decide. So it's better to keep things simple and focused. Now, where could we apply this in our follow through for our health? Well, I'll say this. As a practitioner, I actually read thousands and thousands of articles, emails. I go to summits. I do continued education courses, both for CECs and for non-CECs. I'm taking another class right now for another certification, and it's overwhelming, even for me. And I love this, and I do this for a living, right? So when you decide that you want to do something for your health, and you want to, do your own Googling and searching, I don't think I would, I wouldn't recommend that you go and hit 100 different sites, whether it's social media or whatever. find your top three. Find your top three. If you get tired of one, or if you want to look at another one, do it. But we have so much information out there. And the funny thing is that a lot of the information conflicts. It's constantly like this. I'll go on I do all the research. I'll go on a plant-based site and they will talk about, the benefits of plant-based. And then you go to a keto site that talks about the great benefits of just a lot of meat and organ meat and all this stuff. And so it's out there and it's like constantly like this. So find your passion, find your goal, and then use these strategies that we talked about, the things that meant something to you, the things that that you can apply and benefit from, and then keep it simple. Hicks law is really keep things simple and stay focused. Kydland's law, it states that if you clearly and specifically write down a problem, you've already made 85% progress towards solving it. I mean, that's amazing. And there's a lot of statistics and case studies that when you write something down, you're more likely to succeed. There was, I had read an article on an Olympic athlete that he had his goals, but when he wrote them down, he actually got the gold medal. It was that big of a difference, that big of a jump, even for, I think he was a runner and he was trying to get to a certain time. And when he wrote down the goal and then how he wanted to get to the goal, he achieved the goal. So I like things like this where, it really gives you that much push for something so simple that's just in arm's reach. Murphy's Law. This law warns that the more you worry about something happening, the more likely it is to happen. Why? Because the more energy we give something, the more power we give to it. The more we feed something, the more that's going to be the priority. And so it's just really, it just makes sense. It's our intention. If our intention is getting in our own way, then it's likely that that thing may happen. It's not like we don't have thoughts that, are negative or that we dismiss. Well, I'm talking about like a focused feeding and empowering the thing that we're most afraid of. Gilbert's law. This law emphasizes that when you take on a task, it's your responsibility to find the best ways to achieve the desired outcome. What we did today, why you're here today, learning everyday strategies to follow through on the things that we want to do. You take on a task, that task is health in this case, or non-toxic living. How do I, today I want to, I want to make sure that in my house, I am not breathing in endocrine disruptors. What's the best way to get to that? Well, first throw away the plugins, get rid of the dryer sheets, right? We want to do these things. So we can have that schedule, put it down. I'm gonna have a clean home in 3 months. And I mean clean out like cleaning the products or supplies. You might, some people choose to throw them out right away. Some people say, well, I'm going to use this because I already paid for it. Some people return them. I actually saw that where somebody took some stuff back to Costco. They said, yeah, it's a couple years old, but I found out that it's toxic. I was like, good for you. Good for you. And Costco will take it back. And then you can take that money and invest it in non-toxic things. So we take on a task, a goal, and then make it our responsibility, right? Our responsibility to find the best way to achieve the desired outcome. These are some of the things that we go over on a consultation. Like we want to reflect on what we're grateful for, what actions you already took that moved you towards your goals, what changes that you want to make in order to achieve those goals. So during like a motivation coaching session, or whether it's single or a series, we consider these questions. And again, they're accountable to me, right? We have this accountability with each other. And I tell my clients that I'm as invested as they are. So, I like them to, when they make that, first of all, they're accountable to the appointment. And it's nice to have these types of considerations, like Are there any changes I can make? Because sometimes the answer is no. I'm doing great. Fantastic. And it involves a lot more than that, but this is some of the stuff we cover. Imagine trying to park a car that's going 70 miles an hour. That's essentially what you're doing when you hammer your brain with work and TikTok videos until the moment you go to bed. When is it that the mind is actually going to calm down? When is it that you're going to plan for the next day? So again, when you have somebody mirroring you, an accountability to, the feedback with, that can help. So this is, we talk about planning for the next day. I always hear, this is one of the biggest things I hear, and I'm rushing out of the house. I'm rushing and I didn't have a chance to do this. I forgot this. I didn't take. Well, I get that. In the morning, most of us are rushing, especially if you want to beat the school buses and the traffic. We're rushing to get to somewhere. But what were we doing the night before? Remember, back up. You have a goal to leave a certain time in the morning, back up and get the stuff done the night before. You take 20,000 breaths per day. Might as well make a few of them count. So we have that breathing technique that we do, and it's also an anti-stress breath method. So we have these in our coaching sessions as well. Stress management techniques like from mindfulness to EFT to EMDR to breath work, and so forth. And again, it becomes a tailor-made thing to what you might need, because we do gut health is primarily what we do, and then emotional health. And usually I really do like to have 2 sessions with everybody, and then one follow through. And I feel like it's the most complete way. Why? Because we're only going to get as well physically as we get emotionally. And not to say you can get everything done in one session emotionally, but I have seen great improvement and breakthrough when we do something physically, but there's something holding back. And when there's a breakthrough, it always allows them to get to the next step physically. So, that's something that you all should consider, that when you have a physical health goal, it's so important to address your emotional health goals. And even stuff that we talk about here on Fridays, whether it's doing some mindfulness, some journaling, and whether you need a counselor, it is important. The body mind connection, that emotional physical connection, is just really important. So this is an interesting one, and it could be a goal that we all can start today, and then even excuse me, be accountable to each other for next week. After 7 p.m., just stop the craziness, stop the ongoing running. So take time to reflect, start to breathe, start to, calm down, disconnect from your phone. I mean, we could still watch some TV, but it's not one of those things that's when you start binge watching TV, right? Start planning your day for tomorrow. Just allowing yourself to wind down and read. And we could do a whole session on just reading and the benefits of reading all the way around. We don't really talk about that much, but just like walking has its benefits and everything, the enzymes, reading has amazing benefits for us health-wise, emotionally, and physically, our eyes. Okay, so we're kind of going to end it up here. The things that excite you are not random. They are connected to your purpose. We, all of us here, have a purpose, and we're all connected by that. And we all connect with each other because of that. And whether it's our spirituality or our health or our goals, it's not a random thing that we start gravitating. Sometimes we gravitate to the wrong people or the wrong thing, and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right, or it feels forced. It's not organic. And then eventually that kind of filters away. We don't push it away. We don't judge it. It happens. And then you end up gravitating with those that are connected to your purpose. And it makes you feel good. It's a really good feeling. This is the one I wanted. Let's see, this one. Oh yeah, that's a funny one, but I'll share that at the end. Okay, so how to feel better instantly. Instantly. If you're an overthinker, write it down, especially if you're in bed. If you're in bed, and this has happened to me now, since I've been taking my GABA, magnesium, and Copaiba, and especially the GABA for me, I don't have this problem as much. But this was a constant issue for me where now I do wake up thinking. I wake up thinking, I think, what was I dreaming of? Because I wake up thinking about the bills, insurance, the meeting, the business meeting, that class, the work, and everything, whatever it is, the thing that should have gotten finished in 1 hour, and because of the way things are today with customer service, it's taken 10 hours and I still have to follow up because there's a deadline, and it's going to come back on me, all this stuff. So I wake up to that, but at least I don't wake up in the middle of the night anymore. But I used to have a little notepad on my nightstand so that when it started racing, I would just jot it down, even in the dark, because I knew I'd remember it the next day, but it was literally immediately off of me. So if you're overthinking, write it down. If you're tired, just rest. But don't think that scrolling or watching TV is resting. Resting is literally just kind of silence, maybe some essential oils, sitting on your deck, looking at the sun, or on your front porch, or just walking to your mailbox. But that's more resting. If you're tired, it's not that electric, that the blue screen is not how we rest. If you lay down and you scroll, you're not really going to get up refreshed. But if you walk a little bit, you might. If you stretch a little bit, you might. If you stop and drink some water, you might. If you just look out at the sun and just kind of stare, there's a funny joke about, and I'm not going to get this right, but it says, I saw this guy at Starbucks the other day. He didn't have a laptop. He didn't have a phone. He didn't have anybody around him. He was just sitting there like an idiot drinking his coffee. So I mean, right? Think about that. So if you're anxious, that mindfulness, sitting down, just sitting down for a minute, just putting your hands on your lap and taking a breath and just reciting yourself a scripture. What about the fruits of the spirit? Just allow the mind to calm down from that 70 miles an hour that it's doing. If you're sad, exercise. We know that 20 to 30 minutes of exercise equals a dose of Prozac. There's studies that talk about the dopamine release and the endorphin release. So I know that it's kind of hard to motivate yourself when you're sad to exercise. So one thing that I talk about on our coaching sessions is music. Just put the music on. Don't do anything. Just put the music on. Before you know it, you'll be dancing. Don't say I gotta dance. Just put it on. Put it on and go do whatever you gotta do in the kitchen or whatever. And then believe me, it'll get you going for a little bit. And it's just about 10, 15 minutes to get that release. Stress, go for a walk or exercise, or the two. Sad, go for a walk. Angry, listen to music. So you can see how you can overlap all these things. Lazy, reduce screen time, and burnout, read. So, I mean, these are right at your fingertips. It's nothing you have to buy. It's nothing you don't have access to. And, it's the thing that we can give us a temporary relief of maybe feelings that become overwhelming. So again, today was all about follow through and accountability. We have the tools. We have the intention. We just need a few more pieces, because nothing is like this in life. It's all like this, right? And we could have been doing great last month and we're not doing great this month. So that's why we come together to do this. All right. What's in the chat, Corey?
Okay, all we have is from Sherry Barton. Thank you so much for these words. Do not give up, do not stress, focus on balance.
Awesome. Yep. Exactly. Yep. The focusing on the balance, when you focus on balance, guess what happens? There's a balance. It's kind of neat. I mean, if you well, just this. Well, this was good. The way you talk to yourself matters. So I don't know if you've ever seen a child being scolded like really bad, and it's just, and you're like, oh my goodness. Well, we feel bad for that, but we do it to ourselves all the time. We scold ourselves all the time. We're demanding of ourselves. We're too hard on ourselves. That it's not an excuse to be lazy or not get things done. We're just saying, be just loving to yourself. The way you would talk to somebody that really mattered to you, talk to yourself that way and see what it does. And just note what it does, you know. And if you say, I feel like I want balance today in my life, and even go for what would that mean? That would mean I'm going to remove some of the negativity. I'm going to release my shoulders a little bit. I'm going to take a few deep breaths and just see what that does to your body. Reflect on that. Okay, what's the other one?
That's all. That's all that
Oh, I
was.
thought you said there was two.
No, just one.
Okay, just one. Okay, so we'll stop the recording here and we will do a little bit of a